morning, my listeners. This is Wiktor Doctor, and this is Good Morning BSS World Podcast. I am meeting with you every Sunday since already a couple of weeks, as today we have the episode number 11. As usual, I am going to share with you some information, interesting news which are appearing in the BSS industry or somewhere very close to this business. BSS stands for the Business Support Services, where you can include such areas like outsourcing, modern business services, shared service centers, or global business services. Today I am going to share with you some information about reports. Yes, reports, which are the series of reports, and their name is Focus On. And that's it. That's the name. After Focus On, you have the name of a city. Where are those reports prepared? By whom? What is the content of them? This is what you are going to get familiar today in our show. Okay, so first of all, the reports are already published since 2014. And within this time, there were 38 copies of these reports, which were published in Polish, in English, and some of them even in other languages. Who is preparing them? The author of those reports is the Pro Progressio Foundation based in Poland. I am actually the head of this foundation, so some of the reports are being created by myself and the others by other people who are involved in these activities. What is the content of those reports? So first of all, why they are being created? They are being created to help the BSS companies to get familiar with the business environment in the Polish cities. So what is interesting in these areas? Probably such information like what is the economy, what is the level of education, how many students, how many graduates, what are the salaries in the industry, what is the environment in the real estate industry, and so on and so on. And yes, all of those elements are included in these reports. Okay, let's move forward. So what is the, let's say, shape of this report? So what exactly one by one is appearing on the pages of this report? So first of all, there are some information from the macroeconomy. You can get familiar about the unemployment rate, for example, in the city, and also see the history of this unemployment rate. So if it's going down or if it's going up. Then the next pages are dedicated to education. Within this area, you can get familiar with how many high schools are in the city, how many preliminary schools, how many kindergartens. And when it comes to the students and graduates, they are also listed based on the most popular education lines which are available in the local universities. So you can see how many graduates, for example, are in the IT, in the economy, in the language philologies, and so on and so on. After the education section in Focus On report, you can find the logistics information. Of course, this logistics doesn't mean how many warehouses are located in the city, although such information is put in the in this report on the next pages. What I mean by logistics in the logistics area of Focus On report is, for example, the information how many buses, trams, taxis are being located in the city, how many bicycles, what is the length of the bicycles routes which are located in the city. But also there are such information like, for example, cost of the ticket. So all information which is important from the perspective of moving around the city. The additional part of this section is also the information about the airport. So if there is an airport located in the city, there is the name of this airport and also the number of international connections and what kind of connections are included over there. If there is a city where there is no airport, then there is an information what airport is the closest one, and also all this important information about the flights and destinations is connected to that. After the logistics section, there is a section named real estate. Within this area, you can get familiar with how many A and B class buildings, office buildings, are located in the city, how many of them are under construction, how many of them are planned, what is the cost of the lease of the office space. And also there are some examples of the list of some of the buildings which are available in the city and are ready to be occupied. Besides the office buildings, there is also a section about the warehouses, which I mentioned earlier on, and few additional information which might be very useful from the perspective of renting the office or warehouses space. Behind the information of real estate industry, there is also a section dedicated to BSS. And what you can find over there? You can find there the list of the companies who have their operation centers located in a certain city. Besides that, there is also information of how many of those companies are being located in that city. What is their original capital? So if they are coming from States, from Germany, from Scandinavia, from France, or they are the Polish companies. They are divided into groups. So there is a list of how many of them are the BPO companies, shared service companies, IT companies, call contact centers, and so on and so on. And besides that, there is also a timeline. So you can see when those companies have settled their offices in a certain city. So from 10 years behind, or maybe 15, or just the last year when the report was produced. Besides the information about the business services, there is also a list of salaries. Yes, the report identifies the most popular positions in the BSS industry, including such areas like, for example, accounts payables, accounts receivables, general ledger, IT, call contact centers, and samples of those positions are identified of what is the level of salary in each of those positions. And at the end of the report, you can also find some useful information from the external environment in the city. What I mean by that? This is the information of, for example, how many hotels are located in the city, how many cinemas, theaters, and so on and so on. So this is quite useful information packed in no more than 20 pages. And on those 20 pages, this is the very first information which you need to verify, to consider if this city is good to locate your operation center. Those reports are being prepared, as I said, since 2014. Only in 2019, 10 new reports were published. The very recent one is about Warsaw, and so far it is only available in the Polish version, but soon, very soon it is going to be published in English one as well. But all of the others have already at least Polish and English version, and you can find them on the Pro Progressio web pages. I will of course add the link to the reports section to the description of this podcast, or rather videocast, because today this episode is available not only in audio but also in video. Okay. What is also important in here, those reports are free of charge. You don't need to pay. Okay, you need to give your email address to get the reports, but it costs you no money. And if you will go through the reports which are already listed on the report section at Pro Progressio web pages, you will find out that some of them are already prepared for the second or sometimes even for the third time. So it can give you a view how the city has changed within the line of time. Okay, so the very new one report is already prepared, and it's going to be now dedicated to the city of Poznań, and it will be published at the end of January 2020. So go through the web pages of Pro Progressio, because every month you will find a new report which is available over there. Feel free to get them. I will be very happy to see that they are useful for you, and if you will have some questions or doubts, or you will need some more information about what is happening in those cities, feel free to contact me or Pro Progressio team, and we are very happy to support you with that. Okay, thank you for today. I hope you liked it. This is, as usual, very short episode, but I guess packed with interesting information. If you like this, what you are hearing here, subscribe to this show, tell others, and I'm sure some of people from your environment will find this very useful. My name is Wiktor Doctor, and this is Good Morning BSS World Podcast. Talk to you soon.